Oh my God. I cannot believe this. I've been on here for how many minutes now? And I'm sorry. I apologize. Um, I guess I'm going to start out by saying that that was a long delay, guys. I'm not turning it around. I could turn this off, but you guys will just have to deal with the fact that I just came into the chat. I'm how long into the chat? 8 minutes into the chat now. You guys can hear me loud and clear. Yo, anyone here? Good, good, good. We got people in the chat. So I guess Z says RIP Thomas White's channel. It's gone. I guess it's in the dustbin of history. And I'm sorry to hear that. I really am, because it sounded like really something cool. So, anyways, who can hear me? Who can actually hear me right now? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. I see myself now. I know what I did. I didn't add myself to the stage, is what I didn't do before, but I think you guys can hear me now. End of an era. Yeah, it was end of an era. And Thomas had his own, what I call a proprietary delivery system. What I mean by proprietary delivery system is I used the term proprietary niche agenda when people try to ascribe their own set of circumstances to the world's problems. Like they'll say that, well, we only have to worry about one issue, and that's plastic trash in the ocean, and that's the only issue that concerns the human race. And then you get some people that think it's the Jays, and it's the Anunnakis, it's the Ashkenazis, whatever. And then you get, but what I liked about Thomas is he had his own proprietary delivery system of how he would go about doing things. I don't know if he can post that stuff up on another website. I'd like to hear it all, but he might have some, he might have some. Wow. Guy says, I can hear you crystal clear, Steve. The next one says, the last stream was last night, and there was a caller who did an impression of you. What is he impressioning me? He wants to do an impression of me, but I don't think it was that funny. There's nobody who really does a good impression of me. No, because I don't have. If I had something unique about me, like I really don't feel I'm a person you can really do an impression of. Anyways, I offer for people who want to come in, they can come in. But I was thinking about, first of all, Bill was not impressed with my, you know why Bill's upset, and I don't blame him, because Armchair Revolutionary apparently has been creating drama with Bill, and the drama is going to the nth degree, and I guess he's trying to drive a wedge between Bill and this guy, and there's a lot of people that do that. I don't know the guy personally, and I'm glad he showed his face and he was on camera, and I appreciated his opinion. The other caller that called in on that same stream I liked him better, because he had a lot more to offer. It was just kind of, but the fact that he wants to go to the state and find out how Warren killed himself, that's just morbid to me. Anyways. But yeah, I saw Bill. I think Bill sent me a link to one of his videos. He's not okay. Hugh, I need you to do me a favor. If you want to come in, you got to show me your face on camera. You will not be exposed or doxxed. You're in the private mode when I can see you, but I got to see who you are. Okay. There is no coming into here. I could do a verification. I am not recording it, Hugh, but no, Hugh, you got to show you. I'm not letting you in here unless you pop on camera real quick and show me, wave to me, flick me off. I don't care what you do. Show me who you are. I don't have time for this crap. I'll boot you out of here in a minute if you don't come in here. If you want to come in here, funny, you can do voice only. I'm all cool with that. But if you're just some troll out there, I don't have time for this crap. So, anyways, no, you don't have to clip it for me. Don't worry about it. The rule of thumb is if you're going to come into the chat, the rule of the thumb is when you want to come into the chat is you got to get on the camera and show me your face. I got to see that you're a real person. You're not going to, swing a certain thing around. And Hugh, I know what you look like anyway, so if I see your face, I'll know it's you. I'm going to boot you out of here now. Yeah, I think he booted himself out. It doesn't matter. Anyways, anybody wants to come. If you don't want to come in, that's fine too. So anyways, yeah, I'm sad to see it's the end of an era. Yeah, I like this delivery system. And I'm sorry to hear that he's gone now. Maybe you guys can talk back and forth to each other. In your opinion, who in the Manosphere has done the most damage? Oh, I'm going to have to say the late, great Barbarossa. I think he did more damage. He really did. Because he made it so obvious that what it was he was just looking to get laid. I haven't even listened to Stardust. I don't listen to him. Yeah, so how do you think his channel got nuked? I'm thinking that he just got rid of the channel. I would debate Stardust, but I don't have a reason to debate him. He's not a debatable. I'm not looking to debate Stardust. I just think that he's not really being genuinely true of who he is. Yeah, I don't know who Rich Cooper is. Oh, probably the worst person in the Manosphere or the red pill would probably be Paul Elam, with by far the worst. He's a baby boomer that grabbed into that. So I'd say, yeah, for sure. Anyways. Yeah, Paul Elam would be the worst. No, I don't know who Bonnie Blue is. I don't pay attention to that. If anybody wants to come in here, but I really wanted to kind of have better plans for us. I may just get out of here soon. Julia, wave to me. Is this a woman? Okay. How you doing?
Oh, let me mute the other mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's too late. I could do it. All right, I guess you're there. Hey, Julius, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I just wanted to comment on something that I experienced lately. So I was at this fair.
Right.
And, demographics will always be the biggest thing to me personally.
Right.
But I noticed at the fair, what I saw between men and women is actually most of the women were only walking with other women.
Yes.
While most of the men were only walking with other men. However, every once in a while you would see, 15. Well, actually, I have a picture. There was 9 women and 2 men. And of course, both men were very attractive. So what I'm seeing is that women are not willing to be with the average man. They'd rather just be with each other unless they can be with a very attractive man.
Now, if you want to use the if you have pictures of things and you want to send it to me, I can put it in the screen chat and then it'll show up on the screen.
But yeah, I'll do that. I'll have to transfer. I'll have to transfer it from my phone.
Well, you can transfer to the phone and it sets it on the stage, And then what I can do is go ahead, and if I proof look at it, then I'll just put it up there. But yeah, that's awesome that you're seeing that. And it's hard to believe. I do think that this like excess male problem is much more severe than people make it out to be. When you think about all the male immigration we've taken in. And another thing, I ran into a woman the other day. She was in her 40s and she was dating a Hispanic guy, and they've only been together like 7 weeks. And I mentioned something to her about like in the Philippines are still like 35-year-old virgins, and she didn't like that. Like these Western women really don't like the fact that there are women out there that don't adhere to these really shitty standards, and they get really belligerent about it too. Like there is something like a hive mindset that they have. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I saw that video by Rehab Room called "Wigtow Has Won," and he just made the point that when men go their own way, they're sent their own way. Only really
Right.
women can go their own way. But what surprises
Yeah.
me, Steve, is I'm surprised at how many women would rather be single than be with a guy who's even above average. That's what surprises me. I would think that maybe just half of women would rather be single than be with their looks match. But from what I'm seeing with my own two
Right.
eyes, it's at least 60-75% of women. It's the great majority.
And it's called, this is something that if you ever listen to that video that Held by the Dashboard Light did back in 2017, it was a response to my dating limbo theory. He said that dating limbo is the default position that women are in, meaning that that's where they're usually at. And if they decide to date, they'll just, I think I'll date a guy. But by default, they are in dating limbo most of the time.
But Steve, why do you think specifically that is? Because I know a lot of it is what Aaron Clary talked about. And I agree with Aaron Clary when he said that women just don't like men that much. But doesn't it seem a little bit surprising that it's the great majority that they'd rather just be alone? I mean, are you telling me that the average man is really that undesirable?
It's that they have so many options. I believe this is a supply and demand issue. And see, when something is in great abundance, there's no hurry to get to it. I know how this works because I used to go into those thrift stores. There was a thrift store, a closeout store I used to go in all the time. And they were selling these old cameras that were really like new, but they were like the end of the 35 millimeter era. I'm like, I'll just wait, and I don't need to get that now. I don't need to get it now. And then what happened was they disappeared because someone bought them or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God. And then like that's human nature to not rush to get what's in abundance. You know what I'm saying? You don't value it. So I think women just know that there's always going to be excess men out there that whenever they're ready, they can go to it and then leave it. And plus, I don't believe women have the same. Bill Greathouse disagrees with this, but most women don't have a very high sex drive. That's just a fact.
Well, I agree with that as well. Although one thing I did notice during the fair is, nowadays, most of the time people just stay inside their house. But what I saw during the fair is that in the neighborhood that my grandparents live in, there actually are a fair amount of young women in that neighborhood. However, unless there's a major event going on, you never see them out on the street. I never see them walking out on the sidewalk. I don't see them outside at stores. I think a lot of these women are just not leaving the house at all. The only reason I saw them, I thought that neighborhood was very geriatric.
No, they're not.
They're out there, but they're just in the house
Right.
all the time. And that surprises me because you would think they'd go out at least for grocery shopping or to walk with their friends or for some coffee, but they never go out, Steve, ever.
Right.
So I don't know.
They can't afford to. You got to understand. They can't even afford to talk to you. Every woman knows that if you even talk to her, you're going to start up a conversation. They have to shut you down so quickly because you think you're going to get laid, and that's how it is, So in a way, I'm in defense of women. I would say this: that because we have a horrible ratio imbalance, women have to size you up real quick and shut you down. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah, just to make it clear, I'm not a misogynist at all. I actually support women. I just wish that men could be in a better position. I wish that there was a solution that's good for both men and women. But in my opinion, a lot of the dating game is a zero-sum game, in that what's good for men is bad for women. What's good for women is bad for men. For example, I believe that monogamy is good for men, but polygamy is actually good for women, because I really do believe that the average woman would rather share a high-value male than have their own looks matched to themselves. So I do support women. I just wish that it didn't come at such a high cost for men.
I have a new adage. And this is a good bumper sticker. For men, 32 is the new 50. For women, 50 is the new 32.
Actually, Steve, I'd say 60 is the new 32.
Mm-hmm. So, for women, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is.
I was in a union. I was working for this guy in the union one time, years or not too long ago, but this was a union guy that I ran into actually, and he was 46 years old or 47, and he was dating a 70-year-old woman. Oh man, the pussy ain't so bad after all. This is all he can get is a 70-year-old.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a new trend on TikTok, Steve. There's a lot of Zoomer men dating Boomer women.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at the single graph, the only demographic of women that has, even a considerable portion of singledom is older women. So these Zoomer men either have to be TFL or they have to go for older women. But honestly, in my opinion, Steve, I don't see anything necessarily wrong with that. I mean, if the young guy and the older woman are happy, I wouldn't say anything myself.
Right, but the women don't want it reversed. Like that girl that I ran into that was in her mid 40s. She didn't like the fact that I had told her that there are decent women in places in the world, and she's very much this is the reason I believe that women are collectively want to keep this gravy train going. And they all collectively agree with this. I mean, there's no woman I know. Girl Writes What never really had any compassion for men. She used to refer to men as too ugly to fuck or whatever. So there's really never been a woman in the manosphere that really has championed men's rights.
But Steve, could you explain to me, why is it that a lot of women really try so hard to make sure that older men don't date younger women? Why is that specifically?
It's political power. I think it's very simple. They want to keep the game going because they're already winning at the game, and they're going to make sure that every check, like, okay, when they want to make sure that every ticker box is, or every check mark is checked. For example, they got rid of Backpage. Okay, why did they get rid of Backpage? Because there were some women out there or guys out there finding ways to get laid for $150. You could spend an hour with a woman. I didn't do it personally, but boy, I'll tell you what, there was a time where I wish I had. So they got rid of that. They got rid of the bars. Any type of bar that would have there was a travel lodge. You had a place called O'Malley's in my area, and I think 2016 they shut it down. Now this was a sleazy place, but the point is that they want to get rid of any physical intimacy options that a man can get, including a basic massage from a massage therapist. I mean, I had back in 2009 when I was running like the Cleveland Marathon, I met a beautiful young slender girl, probably in her early mid 30s. She gave me a great body rub down. You could never get that today for like $60. Okay. And the girl was beautiful. And I said, no problem. I mean, she did me, did the whole body, and she let me, I was in my underwear when she did it. I was like, holy cow, like it was, but you will never get that today. That era of being able to go to a female massage therapist just to get a woman to touch you is just, those are out the window now. And so, yes, things are getting really bad.
Well, what women have that men don't is women just hold the line. Women are collectivists by nature, but men do not at all.
No, they don't. Men don't stick together, and men are in denial about this thing. Like I said, the whole TFL incel thing is men are in complete denial about it, and unfortunately, this is what we're up against, And but man, I'm glad to. So, were you? Did you listen to? Were you ever a listener of the Thomas White show?
Yeah, I've heard most of his streams.
Yeah,
I've actually talked to you on there before.
Okay. Great.
I do like Thomas White. I was sad to see his channel get shut down.
Yeah. Well, it happens.
But I'm not surprised.
Well, I don't know what happened. I think that the powers that be can actually, if they see something going awry or they see that there's the potential. See, everything in YouTube is arbitrary. You realize that. They arbitrarily don't like you. They arbitrarily can harass you and do that type of thing to you. So it's really an arbitrary thing. It's not, oh, you said this one thing because he's had some good people on there, but they're just a little bit, they push the envelope a little too far, which I think they should, but unfortunately that's what happens when you do that.
Yeah, well, you made a really good point, Steve, that really connected with me because I took a vacation down to South Dakota. I went to Mount Rushmore. I went to the Wall Mall thing and everything. I went to Deadwood, South Dakota. And what I saw in all these places is I saw a lot of men with families. And
Yeah.
not only did they have wives, they had 3, 4 children. But what someone on Reddit said, and I think they're very right about this, and you kind of made this point as well, it's that only winners go out in society.
Right.
And it's not just because they want to enjoy it with their family. I think a lot of it is status. These men enjoy showing off their wife and kids to other
Yes.
people.
Yes,
It's
they
a big
do.
status thing. And so on one hand, I know that
Oh,
statistically,
yeah, for sure. They're not doing this. Is not an accident when you're at the county fair and there's a guy and a girl together. It's not an accident that he's out in public purposely.
yeah, but it's just kind of crazy to think that I know that statistically speaking, most men are TFL nowadays,
Yes,
but
they
you
are.
never see them ever.
You
They
never see them
never,
in public. Well, I'm
never.
not going to say most people are in wheelchairs, but okay. I was driving down the busy highway. I do service work, and and I came across. I was looking at all these cars on the road, and they're all moving, but they're just moving slow. Think
Mhm.
about how many broken down cars there are sitting in people's driveways that don't run at all. But we only
Mhm.
see the ones that are moving.
Right.
So when people say, "Oh, this brand of car is a piece of crap," okay, well, unless you're a mechanic and you deal with these cars, I have no reason to believe a car is a piece of crap if I see it on the road running because it's running.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a weird thing. So you almost have to get to figure out really what's happening in the dating scene. One thing that stands out is just put an online personal and see how many more responses a woman's ad gets than a woman. I mean, it can be easily done. Just get a fake picture and put it up there, and you can pretty much do that.
Well, the part that kind of hurt my feelings, Steve, is someone on Reddit said that in the near future, even today, a man having a wife and children will be a luxury. And I
Well, it
think it's
already
like,
is now. It's already
yeah,
a luxury now.
yeah. But it does
To
hurt
be
to
a
see
30,
it.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
It does hurt to see that because even though I know that statistically speaking, most men are TFL, by raw numbers alone, when you live in a country of 340 million people, there are still, by raw numbers, plenty of men that have wives and kids.
Yes, you're
And
right.
it's strange to think that they can't even imagine what it's like to be in the TFL position.
No, they don't, and they don't want to know it. And it's like it's kind of like these people that brag how successful their kids are. When you
Hmm.
explain to them that most kids aren't doing well, they're like, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about. My kids are all married. All my kids are doing well. All my kids are educated. All my kids are doing this." I know a guy like this. He's in his 80s and he's like early 80s, and he does this to me all the time. He like spites me on it. Like he's like, I don't know what your problem is. I don't see any problem with this. All my kids are educated. All my kids are making good money. All my kids are doing this. But there's what's falling through the cracks though? He's
Hmm.
got relatives that are manifesting the traits of TFL, and he's kind
Mm.
of getting silent about it. So, in other words, he says this to me, but one of his very close male relatives was in prison for something that got him in trouble, and it wasn't his fault. It was because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong crowd, and he has to admit that, oh my God, maybe environment is a factor. Like in other words, and one of his this other gentleman, one of his kids is divorced now, and is a male children, and again, he's starting to have to accept that everything he's been telling me, well, my kids are doing good. My kids are all doing good. My kids, grandkids are all doing good. My great grandkids are all doing good. He's finally having to admit, and he's not saying it, but I kind of know what he's getting at.
But Steve, since the TFL problem is creeping into so many people's families, do you think that these successful members of these families will try to help the TFL members? Because I don't think
They
so.
they can't really do anything about it. You know what it is? Most relationships are propinquity. So when you see these a redneck hillbilly guy saying, my sons are doing well, my boys are all doing well, my kids are all making good, but that's from propinquity. Or my boys never had a problem meeting need meet women and stuff. So what they're saying is that through their propinquity, through their a little small town that they're living in, yes, they might have hooked up with a woman. But those guys, once they hook up with that woman, they never let her go, because there are not a lot of options out there.
But Steve, in my opinion, one thing I thought about is that the only way I can think of men doing something for themselves collectively is, I do believe that the men who aren't TFL, who do have families, would have to help TFL men in some way. But I just don't think they're going to do that. You said that because they probably can't, and I agree with that. But I don't think, even if they could, they still wouldn't do it. Men don't care
Well,
about other men at all.
I have one of my siblings never helped me with this, and he had a couple women, and he never had any desire to help me with this. And my sister, my late sister, never had any desire to help me or explain this, deal with this problem. In fact, one of her friends who came on to me initially, and I kind of blew her off, and then I tried to rekindle it. She said basically, quit bothering her. Go quit bothering that Susie or whatever her name was. She said, just quit bothering her. And she was more sympathetic toward the girl that initially showed interest. Maybe I should have shown it more, but that was what her response was. Basically, I'm a girl, I know what she likes, and don't bother her, and I'm not going to sacrifice my friendship with her over you hounding her. So that was like 15. Yeah, it was bad. So
yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. What's that noise I hear? Is there a background in there?
Sorry, my neighbors have a baby.
Oh, your neighbors do. Okay, that's
yeah,
fine.
kind of rub. But I'm gonna go, Steve. I just want to talk to you for a little bit, but I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah. Okay. You're a neighbor. I don't know. How could you be hearing a baby if it's your neighbors?
They're right. Like, I live in a bad apartment. It's very
okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm glad that we talked though, and thanks for putting your face out there and you're not being a coward. And you did something that Thomas White wouldn't even do.
Take care, Steve.
All right. I'll see you. Bye bye. Awesome. Drunk Hulk says these Scotch Irish hillbillies are from small towns where people have more family and might work at the same local business, whereas those of us from a major metros don't work in proximity to women. Yeah, Polish American men aren't doing very well with women. Ukrainian American men aren't doing very well with women. Any ethnic male of Eastern European descent is probably not doing well. Says Poop Chester, Cranston Poop Chester says, Steve, how would you feel about co-sponsoring HVACF? It's a premier fighting organization poised to dominate the phone booth boxing market. 2 apprentices go 3 rounds. And, oh God, I don't know what that is. Yeah. National scrotalism. Hail dashboard. That's funny. Yeah, this is hilarious. But yeah, what are you going to do? Guys, 56 in the chat. You guys are awesome. And 8 of these minutes were private. So yeah, we had a good, this guy says Scots Irish. That's actually how it's pronounced, Scots Irish. Need to respect the Italians because we killed JFK because he got out of line in 1963. Oh God. Todd is Polish American and has done terribly bad. Yeah, he's 100% Polish. Todd Thundercock is, and he said one time, he goes, "I have a problem with it too." Yeah, Polish guys are not known for their debonair looks, but Anglo guys, you're seeing more Anglo, like these guys from Australia, like we're talking English, Irish, Scottish descent. They're going overseas. They're screwing up the market. He says, Steve, have you thought about how rampant lesbianism has been a huge amplifier in the demographics problem in the USA? Yeah, I'm convinced most millennial women are lesbians. I think they are too. A lot of them are. Yeah, for sure. Todd is based. God bless him. He is based. He is a very based guy. It says right here. Yeah, Germans are technically, I think they're considered Anglos too, are they? Says, Steve, do you remember that guy with the channel? It says, Todd doesn't really want a girlfriend. I think Todd is cute. He just he reminds me of an average upstate New York guy. That says Vegan Doll says that. I don't know what she's saying. She doesn't want to date him. A lot of Ukrainian refugee guys have an insane, intense look. Growing up in war won't do that. Their women certainly having Germans are ethnic, but for appearance purposes, they aren't. Yeah. Pacific. Okay, this guy, you asked me this question here. It says, Steve, do you remember that guy with a channel called Pacific Oceana or something like that? Wonder what happened to the guy. What was the crux of his message or his material, if you don't mind telling me? He says, I'm married, so I'm not interested in dating Vegan Dolls. Yeah, I guess so, Vegan Dolls. But Vegan Dolls, let me ask you a question. First of all, do you want to come on here? If you want to come on here and discuss this, you got to show your face on here, and I won't put you in here. And you just got to wave, and you can like show me your face and then get it. But if you don't want to get in here, that's fine too. I know Raymond is streaming. He always is streaming. Yeah, I might send Thomas White's customers my way. That would be awesome. Thomas, you're going to have to come my way now. Thomas White's customers are going to start coming in my direction. That's going to be awesome. Maybe Thomas White's going to have to, in order for his demeanor to get out, he's going to have to call my show. I know he listens to this. He's lurking, but he's certainly not going to put his face or his name. There's nothing cute about Todd whatsoever. Todd has physiognomy of someone you'd find at an offenders list. He does. It's hilarious. Thomas White will never be as good as Steve. I disagree. I think Thomas White got some really good guests on his show. So I don't totally agree with that. I appreciate the compliment. The tables have turned. Inside job, yeah. No, I did not have anything to do with his being kicked off of YouTube. It was nothing with me. I just don't know what happened. I really don't. I wish I did know what happened. 61 in the chat, and I've been on here for how long? 40 minutes. Not bad. So yeah, you guys, it's really nice to know that there's people out there that are willing to get on here. And that guy asked me some good questions. I can't answer. Let me put it to you this way. That gentleman that came on here, I can't, I guess what I'm saying is this, is that I can't really give him an answer to why are women not going out, or why are guys not talking about this. I've kind of said it. It's self-explanatory, is that men simply are just embarrassed to admit that they're TFL. And just like a lot of people are embarrassed to admit they can't find work. It was like that when I was unemployed for years. I went many years without gainful, strong employment. And no, I would never, ever, ever put a woman on my panel. I would never let a woman. Aaron Clary is dating a single mom and letting her and her kids live with him. Did you know that, Steve? He talks all red pill and tough, but lives with a single mom, excuse me. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. He's not that tough. And he's only 5'3". But that's his problem. Yeah, you said it right. They are embarrassed. It's taboo to admit TFL, true forced loneliness, for those that don't know what TFL is. And that's a term coined by Bill Greathouse back in 2007. Hold the phone, bucko. Yeah, try to. So I felt the fear and did it anyways. I started to do my, I fixed my car the other day. I had to change an alternator for this car, and this particular car I had required you to rip out the the CV joint to get it off and to get it worked on, and I got it working, and I felt good. So I felt the fear and did it anyways. You guys, you can really accomplish a lot. I do a lot all the time. I'm learning new stuff all the time on the internet, and I'm learning like new skills and learning more about my HVAC. I'm only getting better at it all the time. That's a good question. He says, Steve, at 54, do you still have a sex drive? Yes, but it's very controllable and it's very sporadic. It's not like I wake up every morning just dying. No, it's a little weird. It's almost like it's a peaceful feeling when you don't really have to, you know, like you don't have to chase a woman. What's weird is when your sex drive's not very strong, but you still desire beautiful women in another way. Like you see a pretty girl, and it's not that you're horny; it's just that you desire it because it's something beautiful, you know. Said Thomas White is an advocate of renting out rooms in your house to other guys to pay the mortgage, and then take the foot off the gas pedal as far as careers goes. It's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. I don't know what he does for a living. Does anybody know his living conditions and why Thomas White has never lived alone? Says drunk Hulk. My brothers used to watch Zoloft Sucks in Blue Skies Media. We used to watch the vids together when we were working one summer. Well, I remember Blue Skies Media. He was really so true. Steve, what is your opinion of single moms? Some red pill guys crap on single mom, but they ended up dating single moms, which is ironic. Yeah, I think First talked about that. He says they'll rip on guys that are single moms, and they're dating single moms. Yep, 62 in the chat. I have never eclipsed 100, so one of these days we will have a party and try to eclipse 100. A roasty. He calls his girlfriend a roasty. We don't even know he has a girlfriend. We don't even know that Thomas White even has a girlfriend. He says he does, but there's no verification that he does. Thomas White has 100 guys in his phone. All right. Oh, here's the okay. Here we are with the rabbi. Do you want to show your face or you just want to talk? It's up to you. I'll add you to the stage. There you go. Here we go. All right. How you doing, Rabbi?
Hello, Steve. Can you hear me? Well,
I hear you loud,
Steve.
loud and clear.
Okay. What do you think of the King of the Hill, and what do you think of the new season of King of the Hill that came out recently?
Who are you referring to? I'm just curious. Is there the new season of what?
King of the Hill by Matt Texas, right?
Oh, well, I used to watch King of the Hill back in the 90s and early 2000s, but I haven't watched it in years. Is it a new show altogether?
It's on 21 years old now.
Okay, you're coming in and out. I don't know. Like it sounds like you're what's going on with do you have a bad internet connection? It said there's an incel episode. I lost track of BSM, and I think Zoloft is just gone. Nostalgia has. Oh, there's some.
Oh.
Okay, I'm trying to say. Can you hear me? Okay, or do I hear you? Go ahead, talk to me.
I hear you. Do you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. All right.
What do you did you watch any of the new South?
I don't watch. I don't watch I don't watch those made for mass consumption shows. They're made for low IQ people usually, and they're not shows I generally watch. No.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm Judas Chai. My I Rabbit. Check out my channel at Lance.
What is the name of your channel? It's called I Judas.
At you can just search at Incel Zionist Rabbi.
Oh, Zionist Rabbi. Okay, you are, and you're half Jewish. You're not full-blooded Jewish, right? I think. Okay, he's just getting out here. Okay, so that was Judas Rabbi. That's his name. He think he's half Jewish. Simpsons is high art, according to Dash. I don't know why Dash likes the Simpsons so much. Like I don't know. Yeah, it looks like somebody says 56K connection. That's what it looked like. 56. Yeah, I lost some people in the chat here. Anyways. But that guy was a good. Player Supreme is no more. He is deceased. Steve, how do you explain Player Supreme's success with women? He never had success, in my opinion. I don't think he did. Let's go, Bucko. He's more than welcome to come in here. I don't know what he's afraid of. I don't know. But I'm about to go. Anybody else want to get in here? Let me know. It'd be nice to get him on here, but I don't think he'll ever come on here. I like to get. I don't think that even Mercer's ever going to come back. I have a weird feeling that Mercer's done too with me. I kind of feel like once people have been on my stream, they don't usually come back unless. I don't know. As you can imagine, guys, and I'm not going to be here all day. Maybe be out of here in 10 minutes, but it was a good chat. I think it was pretty good. It wasn't bad. All over the map. But I'm sorry to hear about Thomas White's channel. Thank you, the one guy who came in here. Yeah, white nationalism is kind of a loser. They all want to hog the punani for themselves. They really don't care about men succeeding with women at all. They really. He said Mercer is busy editing new video releasing soon. He could still do a. He said the TFL was the main driver of Warren's self-deletion. Don't believe otherwise. That's sad. The problem with the stream with Thomas White and Raymond was Raymond kind of steered the narrative, and I didn't like that. All right, well, guys, I'm about to get out of here now. I'm getting tired. Been on here 51 minutes. Haven't even been on here an hour, and I'm already tired. So, it says, yeah, Jen. Well, that's true, John Doe. Yeah, they probably do shut you down. Well, they don't even shut me down because I don't even go up to them, so it doesn't make a difference, really. All right, well, I got to get out of here now, guys. I think I'm going to head out. We will. Yeah, I don't think it's fun now that an era has ended. The Thomas White era has come to an end. That is sad. Maybe I'll just stream. Got to get more people in here to get opinions. I'm out of here. Today is the 14th of August, 2025. It's Thursday at 7:50 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm about out.